So we have joined the ranks of Starlink. So we've got our Starlink kit today. And we went ahead and we got the big dish for in-motion use, because you never know when they're going to decide 10 miles an hour is too fast and any motion is too much. So we wanted the one that we could use while we're moving the boat. So this is the big high performance dish. And to start with, we're on the global mobility plan. So we're going to be installing this in an interesting place on Agape. I've seen it done by someone and it works great for them, so I'm going to give it a try. So we have one high-speed dish. Ooh. Or I guess high performance, not really high speed, right? And then we have a box of goodies that came with it, which we shall be unpacking here. So our Starlink project is basically in its testing phase right now. We have the modem and the power supply on the shelf back here behind the TV, along with a power strip and the Apple TV, but this is all just a temporary mess. And we ran the dishy cable in through an existing vent that actually was falling apart, so it actually worked out pretty good to include it in that vent. Eventually, if this all proves out well, which it is so far, we will mount it in the space behind that wall right there, which is an open area that has room for those components. This is the dishy wire coming out of the area that I just pointed out. You can see that vent is broken. It's basically falling apart. We have a new vent cover, which when we're done with this test, we will replace. But I'm either going to drill a hole next to the vent and bring it in here, or I'm going to bring it in through the top here. Haven't decided yet. Now, where did we put the dish? Did we mount it on a pole? Did we put it out near our solar panels? Where did dishy end up? So we did not mount it outside. We kind of mounted it in a unique place. Although we did not think of this first, we actually copied some friends of ours that also have a Helia. We mounted dishy underneath our helm cover. So we have a soft top helm, and we have temporarily mounted it up there with some strapping, which I think the strapping is going to be fine. You can see the bolts are too long. They come with dishy, so we're going to have to get some shorter bolts, but this is the high performance dishy and it fits really well right there. And of course that fabric top is transparent to dishy. We've done some testing, and this is the data that I'm getting from dishy on obstructions, which it shows very good. So this is the kind of test location for dishy, semi-permanent install. I think the strapping is working really well. I bought some straps off of Amazon, put together the buckles, got some shorter bolts from the hardware store, and it sits real nice. Of course, we're going to test it for a couple months and just make sure there's no problems. And but yeah, looks like this is going to be its happy home for a little while. And this enables us, when we put the boat up on the hard, to just pull dishy down, undo the straps, disconnect the cable, and bring it inside, because we usually take all of our canvas off also. So I'll update everybody when we go through that cycle and how it all worked. So the project today is to find a way to replace this piece of garbage. So this is the air filter for our Volvo diesel engines. As you can see, it's not a very robust design. It's a piece of foam around a spring. So for a new one of these, Volvo wants $70. Now I can find the foam online aftermarket, but you can see the spring is rusted on the inside, and I don't really care for rust in the intake of my engine. And so I'm going to try to retrofit this. So this is a K&N filter, much better design. I tried to find one that had almost no metal on it, and the only thing this has is a little metal strip right there, but otherwise it's all siliconized rubber. And of course that does not fit in the space that goes in. And I looked and I looked and I looked, but I couldn't find one that fit perfectly. So I'm going to use this elbow as an adapter. So that's going to go onto the fitting on the engine, which is about 2.5 inches, and then it'll connect with the filter. But of course I couldn't find a perfect fit for that either, so I'm going to have to take a small length of 2-inch PVC pipe as an adapter between the elbow and the filter. But if all this works, it might take up a little more space in the engine bay, but that's going to be a much better filter. That filter is actually washable, and even if I have to replace it, I can find it online for about $18 versus $70 for a new one of these with a spring, or the foam I can find online, but that foam breaks down pretty fast. So we're gonna try to come up with a mating solution here between that and the engine. See how it works. There I have a piece of 2-inch PVC pipe that's cut, and that's gonna be what I use to mate these two pieces together with, and then that elbow will attach to the engine in the original position. So this is the installed unit. It fits fairly well, and it doesn't impede access to anything. You still get to the oil dipstick on the sail drive, and it looks like it fits pretty good. So we'll see how it does. Going to do the other one now, and I think that's going to be a lot better air filter than that little foam piece of garbage that Volvo supplied. So after a day working on projects on the boat here in Baltimore, we get to watch a nice sailboat race. It's a beautiful evening. It's finally cooling off. Our days of 190-degree weather is hopefully over. Hopefully we're moving into a more temperate fall weather. Have more beautiful evenings like this in Baltimore. So yesterday we walked to Ace Hardware and got some line to lace our trampoline cover back on. So we got that done yesterday. It's all laced and repaired. Betsy used her Sailrite sewing machine to repair the seams that were coming undone. So we've got about 65 boats here in the anchorage. Not too close to us, but a ways away. We've got everybody here for the boat show. It's a beautiful day. It's a little cool, but a little cool is okay. And then over here is the Naval Academy, and we're going to go take a tour of the Naval Academy. So we're going to dinghy into the main dinghy dock. Hopefully it's not going to be too busy, and check that out. So Betsy's throwing our weekly accumulation of garbage in this dumpster they provided. And then we're going to go over to the Naval Academy and go for a tour today. Beautiful day.
Well, this is Memorial Hall. It was originally the ballroom here when it was built in 1900. Today it's used for mid-year graduation, retirement ceremonies, honors assemblies, etc. But the main purpose, the marble case behind me, contains the names of every graduate who gave their lives so we can enjoy the freedoms. A lot of us take it for granted every day. From the Civil War on the left to the War on Terror on the right. The flags that we see here, this flag flew above the USS South Dakota, up there in that mural in the Northern Pacific, and the flag flew over the shore.
So we spent 2 days at the Annapolis Sailboat Show, which if you're interested in sailboats and sailboat accessories, I definitely recommend it. We always try to go on Thursday, which they call the VIP day. It costs a little extra, but the crowds are a little more reasonable. And we usually try not to go on Saturday and Sunday because that's when all the looky-loos are there. If you're interested in seeing a lot of people, you can go on Saturday and Sunday, but if you want to spend time on boats, Thursday and Friday is much better. So didn't take a lot of video or pictures of the boat show. You know, it's just a lot of boats that you know, if you're interested, go see them, go check it out. They also have a pretty good boat show down in Miami every year in February. That's a nice winter trip. That's actually where we made the decision to buy Agape, so definitely recommend that. And right after the boat show, we headed down the Chesapeake and started heading towards Florida. And that's what we'll have in our next video, is our trip down the Chesapeake. And we stop in Charleston and then finally in St. Augustine. So look forward to seeing you back on the channel here. Please subscribe if you haven't and click like. And we appreciate you watching. Take care.